Well, what's wrong now? Wi-Fi. Why doesn't it work? That's correct. Okay, so last week we ran into a problem with WiseCare 365. So somehow um, it can happen. Get this a little bit lit lighter. That should be okay. So all Wi-Fi gone, completely gone. Don't even show up in the listing. Doesn't even show up in the device manager. It don't show up in anywhere. And no matter what you do, you can't bring it back. I'm not going to fully format and restart the whole computer and try to get the image back. Nothing worked. Nothing. Guess what worked? Wired connection worked. Ethernet. I was able to plug into the fiber. Or you can plug into the T-Mobile. But anyway. But I chose the fiber. So maximum speed with that is 1,000. Because of those ports are not 2.5. I don't know if it had one. I didn't see it. But that wouldn't make no sense because we still couldn't get no. If it had a 2.5 and the port capable to do 1 gig, in reality, back in old school days, 1 gig was equivalent to 600. So when they had the 10 megabits, it was 6 megabits. Yeah. And when they had the 100 megabits, it was 60. So that's how you figure the math through all these things. And that math goes on today. So I come here and I see that the wireless is out. Okay? What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to try to figure it out. No wireless connection, no nothing. To fix this, okay, you're going to say, well, download the drivers. Yeah, I had the Intel drivers. You know, the drivers were still in there. So anyway, okay. So a couple ways of doing this. So it's flag key, R, or Win key, whatever they want to call it today. Keep changing it. And you go into Device Manager. So Device Manager, in the network adapters here, oh, I don't know if you can even see this on this kind of device. Well, don't worry about it. It's not missing anything. So on the network adapters, you know, it would have the, well, in this case, I have a Qualcomm Eros PCIe gigabyte controller, which is not bad for the time. It had built-in Wi-Fi. I really didn't even know I was buying it because I was always using the LAN. I didn't care about the wireless. So, but the wireless back then was 802.11n. So it was Wi-Fi 4. So I went from Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, then Wi-Fi 6 is what I put in here. Everything was working okay until WiseCare changed all that. And even though WiseCare changed, WiseCare, if you're not familiar with that as WiseCare 365, anything 6.75 was safe. Anything above that in the 7s was not safe. They somehow switched hands. I don't want to get into that politics, but it's, you know, that's how it is. So what's happened now is, whatever WiseCare did, you couldn't even use power tools to recover it. The driver was installed, but never fully installed. And then another problem that I ran in, and that even that the AIs couldn't figure out, and they didn't even know. I had to set it to them. Where is it? So in the root directory under Windows, System 32, there was another problem. Under drivers, so it's Windows directory, System 32, then drivers. That's where the, is the driver there? Let me see where that file is. There is 2 files in here. Well, actually, when I looked, it was 4 of them in here. Well, 2 of each. So it would be considered 4. Let me see if it's in here. Is where it went. Okay, yeah. So we're looking at net NETWFW10.dat. And there's a NETWTW10.s. SY, sys. So it's a DAT and a sys. For some strange reason, this computer had 2 more of those, and they were 2018. Why did we need 4 of those? Now you might say, hey, it might be an old card. Could be. So when Intel drivers go in, it should have been pushed out. But that's not the case. So I removed those. It looked like it solved the problem, but the problem is still there. So I went to right-clicked on the Windows, not Intel driver for the AX200, right? I'm right-click on that because it has all the drivers. Doesn't matter if you had AX200, 201, 202, all that was in there. It's just the drivers only for 10 and 11. Okay, right-click as administrator, and it brought up repair because it detected it. So, did you want to repair it? Okay, repair it. So it repaired it. The first time I did that, it worked. Guess what? Lost Wi-Fi again. It turned itself off. I turned it back on again. It wouldn't turn back on again. Yes, no. I tried everything, and it still wouldn't work. I thought it was working. It still refused. By removing these 2 extra sys in the DAT file out of the Windows System 32 drivers folder, might have solved the problem. Then run repair, reboot it again. Then still didn't fix the problem. I had to go into the Intel under the device manager, right click on the Intel driver properties, go into advanced, because by default this thing's not going to show 5 gigahertz. It's A you want to use. This B, G, and A. You want to use A. And then you want to use 802.11. It should say 802.11, the mode AX. Everything else should be okay. The MIM power save mode, I set that to no. SIPs. If you're using Intel, I set that to no. By default is on auto SIP, SMPS. Mix mode protection, it's enabled. Offload, packet correlation, yeah. Preferred band. Now this is what I want. Preferred band is 5 gigahertz. Roaming aggressiveness, I've set it to the highest. I was using medium high. Sleep disconnection is disabled throughout booster. Enable, I think that's disabled for some strange reason. Transmission power, the highest. The last 2, I had those disabled. And power management, allow the computer to turn off this device to save power. I turned those off. I reboot the computer. Another and it still came up problems. This time, when I came in again, I right-clicked, uninstall device. So normally you would click, this is hit uninstall and uninstall and you reboot and it will come back again. But I attempted to completely remove the driver this time and then redo it again and set it up again and reconfigure it again. You even run scan, you can run SFC. Scan now also. I ran that too just a second. So what happened? Did it work? It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It's stable now. It's locked in. When you do all of that, you have to re-enter your credentials in there. And when it repairs it, it repairs it. But you know what I found in this whole mess? It was using 2020 drivers. Yeah. So when I removed the drivers and did everything, it was gone. So now we're using the latest driver. Then there's another problem I looked at. It's in the control panel. Let me see if I can get up there. I also check services too. I mean, you can check many things here. Let me see something. Let's see if it's under power. Oh boy. You want to select power and you want to go to power saving, change the power button, change the power plan. Let's see which one is this. Change the power plan. Okay, so you want to go to control panel because remember, Windows 11, 10, all the versions, they still have the old interface that they had when they first created Windows. It hasn't changed. You see like this. Choose a customary power plan. By default, when you buy any Windows computer, it's going to be balanced. You're not getting full processor speed. You're getting like half the speed. Now, the choices are, we're going to go into this, why that's there. High performance, power saver, well, and this is still left over from the quick CPU days. So, I want ultimate performance. You're saying, gee, hey, whoa, why are we coming like that? It should be clearer there. Can you see me? Maybe all the time it was dark. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in another video. Can't talk about it in this video. Ultimate performance. That's better than high performance. Okay? So you're getting full speed ahead. And you guys say, gee, aren't you going to get cooked the CPU that way? Aren't you going to use more power? But you got a desktop computer. You want full power. What'd you get it for? Half speed? Why would you go half speed? I want full speed. Full speed ahead. Same thing with the NIC card. I set them to the max as much as I can. Everything. I used to write a script. The script would have changed the Windows 10 system to push the system to full power. I think there's a patch, I forget, Service Patch 4.2, I can't remember those patches anyway. Fix a lot. Microsoft turned up a lot of features. You know? And they do it on purpose, too. Another one was that bandwidth thing. Let me see if that's still there. You have to go into group policies, gpedit.mc. I might have to go in there as administrator if I want to change anything. God, let me see if I can remember this. I think it's under local computer policies, network. It was the QoS packet schedule. I think it's in there. Let me see. Oh yeah, limited bandwidth reserves. By default, it's set to 80. They say this is the set. This could be overridden. You set it to 0. Why would Microsoft set it to 80? It's so stupid. Another thing that eats up your bandwidth too in these systems is the way it updates. The Windows update, it uses a lot of the bandwidth. I just reset everything back to 0. It's delivery options. How it delivers the updates. You want to change those. There's a video on that, how to show you how to do that on this channel, the search. Because that will help you. You want to run at full power. Okay? Everything should be running at full power. The system should not be running slow. Another thing you want to watch out for that can mess up your settings is the PC Manager. I'm going to boost the memory. Under PC Manager, I believe it's the deep cleaning, or there is a setting. It's a system setting. You don't want to touch that. Well, if you've been using it and it's working okay, that's great. if you just started, if you have the same problem, you're running the same problem. Because that's one of these notorious things that they got here. Okay, so limited bandwidth. So say you don't have Windows Pro, Enterprise, blah blah blah, and you have Home. There's a way to get in there. The instructions is in the channel. How to do that. Uh, so I have to use what? Yes, close it. Oh my goodness, I still have this Google Earth. Now, I didn't completely remove all of. I removed the Wise Care 365. That might have got corrupted. You know, I also tried a program called IOBit Driver Booster. Don't put that in your machine. I got it out of the machine. Did it do anything for me? No. I'm always trying to say something else. You got to be careful with those utilities. In the past, well, Wise Game Booster. Let me see. I have to close all this stuff out. Okay, all closed. Okay, it says 9 issues. So it saved memory and got the system into a green state, which is good. So that's Wise Games Booster. It was designed for games, but you can use it for process optimization. You can see what's running and using up memory. And in this case, Edge is trying to load. Oh my goodness gracious. Ed is all, oh my goodness. This is a script to disable that. You have to use PowerShell, and you can turn off Edge. I don't know how it is going to work now. Without WiseCare managing the system, you know, you got to go do it properly. I don't want anything running in the background. I don't want anything starting up. The only thing that should start up maybe on. We don't need Google update to update every minute. It's crazy. Well, the Wi-Fi is working now. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. It's not on fiber. What? I can't get the thing in the tray to come down. Oh, yeah, I had to reset the tray with Microsoft to fix a problem. What the heck? I don't want to use that network. That was odd. Today we're having a lot of problems with Wi-Fi. And Yeah, I know Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7 has problems. They don't want to tell you about Wi-Fi 6, 7 problems. So you should wait until Wi-Fi 8, because in Wi-Fi 8, they have solved the problems that we've all been having. That's what they say. So, yes, Wi-Fi 8 is going to come out. Okay, but got 1 gig. You see that? Okay, that's a lot different from the 150 with the other one. That's not bad. With the tweaks and everything, it's 1 gig. Even especially for a computer like this that's old. You know, I like the computer. I use it because I can play my games. There's a couple of things I got to set up. When I was changing accounts, I should have changed certain things. I just forgot. I thought it had everything covered. And I had an old account for a long, long time. And now, what's going on here with this thing? This is completely dark. This is completely dark. We'll talk about this in another video. When I talk about this in another video, no, we'll talk about it in another video. This is constantly living, because I have to make videos, and I can't have it. Well, I don't want to go into that, but I want to talk about the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi is annoying when it doesn't want to work, especially on this. And then the Mac. That's another thing. So on this channel here, we're going to learn about different systems and different configurations. Now, I showed you how to fix this problem. Okay? Back in the day, when we was at a client, like, you know, a big client, and a lot of them say, hey, I can't get up, my Wi-Fi is gone. So, two things you can do. You can remove the driver, reboot the computer, have Windows reinstall everything. That used to work. Sometimes it don't work. It could be the driver itself corrected. Microsoft likes to try to use its own driver. In my case, that's what happened. But the system was, instead of going to the Microsoft, it was still trying to go to the Microsoft driver. It should go to the Intel driver. So it's all working now, as you can see. Now, why did it jump back? I don't know. The only reason it will jump back if something happened to the fiber. If the fiber gets cut off. You know, even though you have fiber, you say, hey, everything's working out, and I have cable now, and I have that problem again with cable. Cable shuts off when it wants, you never get what you get the rated speed. It was slow. It was, yeah. For me, cable, I couldn't use it in Xfinity anymore. Not the way it was working. I said, oh my goodness, forget about fiber. It's not fiber. Forget about the wireless. I had 2 business wireless access points. That's the same ones I showed you. Right? When AT&T came in, holy cow. Yes, I had the business. I had a rack mounted and a mini rack, but it's a full rack, you know, 8 full racks. Business enterprise router. Manage VPN dual WAN. That means 2. You can hook up T-Mobile and you can hook up T-Mobile, and you could have hooked up Xfinity at the same time in that thing. If you want to go that right. Now with Xfinity, you know, I know some people use a router, but you have to get something. You have to get something that supports the fiber more. The only thing I had that supported fiber and that had fiber ports were the Jetstream, which was a managed VPN switch. Okay, 16 port switch. I didn't need more than that. That's what I had in this place. Everything was running smoothly. But Xfinity, you know, let me down. I can't upload with 20 megabytes. Oh my goodness. 20 megabytes per second, not gig. We're saying about 20 hour to a half an hour gig file. You're looking at something like 50 gig. With the 20 megabyte, it take a long time. Very slow. Very slow. That's why, you know, we had to go compression. I was trying to upload, on that time I was trying to upload 6 videos. It was a murder. But I did it. I made an accomplishment. I'm just saying, I don't want to go through this problem. Right now, this is wireless. This is not wired. The speed. This is faster than the wired speed. But this is what I have for wireless. And that's not bad. So, that's what I use wireless. It's 100% wireless, except for the 2 access points. Yeah. Well, actually, I'll take it back. The second access point is hooked up to the mesh port in the back. Some of them say that's half a duplex. So you have full duplex, full speed, and half a duplex, okay? So they call it full is FD, and the other one is HD duplex, half the speed. I don't know. I don't see much of a difference. But that's what it is. I don't care about the 2.4 gigahertz band because the lights, not these lights, because these are studio lights. I don't have it hooked up that way in here. Out there, we have it hooked up like that. But the 2.4 gigahertz, which is 802.11n, the maximum on that was 300. I don't know how they telling the public, oh, it's 688, and then they have Wi-Fi 5 max to 2,800 and something. Where are they getting those numbers from? That's not the numbers. The numbers would be 2,400, and then the other one, the 2.4, is 300. But 300 is not the real speed of the 802.11n. It could be 150 or 72, which is that's the real speed. If you can get even 150. Don't let them fool you. So when they say 6 gigahertz, they claim it's 6 gigahertz band, the radio band. It's claimed to be 5. But you have to have devices that support that device. Otherwise, you're not going to get into that band. What do you have in the house? Some of the newer smart TVs have that. You know? You got to be careful. Look, I got 2. We got the little small wave box. It looks like the other ones that everybody talks about online. The company sends it to them, but they didn't pay for it. But anyway, and they promote those routers, those things, and all that. It's a quad core, more RAM, and all that stuff. And the whole thing with that is, they all suffer one problem: they overheat. The fiber overheats. The T-Mobile, that gateway modem, that gets hot. Have you seen that? How hot that gets? Why don't you refrigerate it? Should you put it in your refrigerator? No. Should you put it in your freezer? No, you don't do that. Why don't you do what businesses do? Have a room, but you have to run the air conditioning all the time. But they got little refrigerated cooling fans. It's very cold on one side. You can hook up that. That's magnetized, so that magnetizes on, and where it's hottest on the device, it would cool it. That's why it's a cooling thing. So you can actually hook up. I don't know why T-Mobile didn't put fans on it, like cooling fans, to keep it cool. Because I'm sure it's overheating inside. And you know when anything overheats, it's going to run slow. Your desktop's going to overheat. And the T-Mobile, the AT&T fiber gateway gets hot. They all get hot. I know with the Xfinity modem I had, you know, I purchased myself. It was getting hot. I had on a cooling pad the whole time. This laptop, it can get hot. The Chromebook gets hot too. They all get hot. They need to be cooled. Okay, think of your car. You're driving your car. The light comes on. It's at temperature. There's no coolant. You have to cool that down. Oh, you blow it out. So it's the same thing with all this stuff. If you notice that T-Mobile device is going in and out, check the gateway and see if it's overheating. If it's overheating, then you know which culprit it is. You need to put something on it to keep it cool. Because, you know, otherwise it's going to keep doing. And you have to aim it in a certain place to keep the signal strength. I know this is not about T-Mobile stuff, but yeah, maybe we should talk about that on a different thing. Yeah, I just gave a little advice there. Well, again, find this helpful, and you want to learn more about certain things. What do? That's right. You subscribe. Because you're subscribing for more learning, more tips of the trade, more things. When I get something, I will show it off. Right now, the only thing I bought was the lenses from the company in New Jersey in the warehouse. They covered a multitude of items in there. I'm not gonna knock it because this thing works. I don't know. I don't even know if I need it really. Here, watch this. If I take it, it's good for if lighting is too bright and washed out. That's what's. Wow, dude, I look clear. We can tweak this a little bit. I got it because the videos were getting too washed out, and then a lot of people were saying online, "Hey, other brands, they're defective." So I'm looking at a piece of paper right now, and I'm looking at it right, and if the words are dark or distorted, then you're gonna know the same thing is gonna happen with your picture. Okay. No, it's clear. So this is a good quality lens, and it's very inexpensive. Yeah, that's how you tell. I know if you have to order from Amazon or any place like that, you don't know what you're getting. But you take a chance. You can return it. You have to, they told you they got 30 days. So, gee, even wow, look at that. Then on this, it's set to automatic. If I put more light on, this is what happens. Bing. But I shouldn't really talk about this now. Anyway, that's stuff to look forward to. I can tell you what's coming up. Okay, so we'll talk more about that in another video. Hey, take care. We're gone.